Despite disappointment over the last-minute cancellation, this year's Spring Fling has more in store. The production crew has something up its sleeve that could make tomorrow's concert unlike anything Yale has ever seen. Joseph Vincent brings us more.
Electronic music is becoming increasingly popular both at Yale and across the nation. This year, the Spring Fling committee chose Diplo as the concert's headliner. Electronic artists are known for their music and exciting production. According to the Spring Fling production team, Yaleys are in for a treat.
People are starting to see a DJ, like Diplo, as someone who is an artist in their own right. And you can also see this with the production that you're going to see at the Spring Fling concert.
With the rise of EDM music and sort of standalone performers, the production value becomes an extremely integral part of their show. Without creating a whole vision for the show, something is lost in the shows.
This year, the Spring Fling committee created a brand new production team that has worked to make the show even more exciting and interactive.
The reasoning behind the Spring Fling production team is that we have students on campus who have experience with it.
The organisers have said that this year a lot more thought has gone into the stage, the lights and the aesthetics of the event.
Well, especially with Spring Fling, since we have so many different genres performing, it's not just Diplo. I think that they have an eye to that when they're thinking about the lighting design.
In terms of the physical logistics, it's the same basic stage that you saw last year, but pretty much everything else has changed. It's a lot more complicated, a lot more fun, and we hope it's going to be a lot more interactive.
This is just essentially just showing what the truss structure is going to look like. And while this outer area right here is pretty standard, there's some truss structure on stage that makes it a lot more interesting, and we worked very closely with Diplo's LD lighting designer, and essentially he's given us a plot and we've worked from that to make sure that every artist can get the production value that they want and they get everything that they need.
The team has also introduced something that has never before been seen at Spring Fling.
We've been trying to figure out how to make this show more interactive and how to make this show more encompassing for everyone who attends Spring Fling. And so what we decided to do is pull the audience into the light show. We decided to go with these bracelets. So the first 1,500 people at Spring Fling will get a bracelet that says Spring Fling. They will go on every person's wrist, and they are LED controllable wirelessly from our light board, which is, here's the small version of what we're going to use for the show. But we can control the lights that will be on every person's wrist to go along with Diplo's light show, to go along with the other performers, so that it actually pulls the entire audience into what's happening.
The production team has worked hard on creating the Spring Fling experience.
I just tried to create one cohesive visual so that everything from the bracelet on people's wrists to the app on the phone feels like one product. Having a lot of graphics, just high volume, and a lot of visibility, a lot of polish, makes the whole thing just feel bigger.
One thing's for sure, this year's production team promises to put on a good show. For YTV, this has been Joseph Vincent.
Tomorrow's opening act goes on at 3 p.m. and Diplo rounds out the night at 9.